Great. So the public hearing for the Little Falls, New Jersey Green Acres Park Development application for Amity Park. The hearing is now open. If anyone would like to speak on this matter, please come forward. You're welcome to speak. We have one resident. Would you like to come forward? Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nancy Friedrich, and I'm on the Open Spaces Committee. And I just wanted to say how thankful I am that we're considering getting funding for Amity. I happen to live in the neighborhood of Amity. I have for more than 20 years, walk my dog around it. My kids play sports, often at the fields. And it is, I would say, used even more every year. You know, the basketball court, especially. There's almost always people, if the weather is decent enough, not even warm enough, but decent enough. There's people playing basketball. So thank you. I really look forward to the improvements.
Great. Thank you for coming before us. Councilwoman Hablitz, do you have anything you want to add to this application?
I just want to say, I think that it's going to be great for all the residents. The addition of resurfacing the basketball courts, which is much needed, and as our resident alluded to, it gets so much use. The first phase of this, which we did last year, is also going to be upgrading the playground. And then we will be doing where the current tennis courts are. It will be an all-purpose surface, which will be able to accommodate floor hockey, soccer, kickball, foursquare, volleyball, hopscotch. There's many things that can be done there and can just be a free play area, and roller floor hockey. That's all I have.
Thank you. Seeing no one else come before us, the public hearing on the Township of Little Falls, New Jersey Green Acres Park Development application for Amity Park is now closed. Thank you. Welcome everyone to the Township Council Workshop Meeting, Monday, February 3rd, 2025. This meeting is now called to order. All please rise to salute to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Madam Clerk, please read the statement of public notice.
Take notice that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with NJSA 10:4-8 and NJSA 10:4-10 as follows. A notice of the meeting was prominently posted on the bulletin board at the municipal building located at 225 Main Street, Little Falls, New Jersey on January 14th, 2025. A copy of the notice was sent to the North Jersey Herald and News and the Record on the same date. Additionally, a copy of the notice was filed in the office of the township clerk on said date. A link and a telephone number to join the meeting virtually can be accessed on the township website at www.lfnj.com. Electronic provisions have been established for the public to participate during the public comment portion of the meeting.
Thank you. At this time, please call the roll.
Councilmember Patel.
Present.
Councilmember Murphy.
Present.
Councilmember Hablitz.
Present.
Councilmember Vanchery.
Present.
Council President Scoba.
Present. Before we begin, I just am very happy to share with you. We have one of our own who got engaged, Councilwoman Patel. We wish you all the best on behalf of the mayor and the council to your future endeavors. We're glad you'll be staying in Little Falls.
Council President.
Mayor, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Council President. This evening, we have two proclamations to read, the first of which is a proclamation recognizing Black History Month. And it reads, whereas the Township of Little Falls takes pride in recognizing February 2025 as Black History Month, celebrating the many notable contributions that people of African descent have made to our country. And whereas in 1986, Congress passed Public Law 99244, designating February as National Black History Month to bring awareness to Black history. And whereas we celebrate the diversity of Black people, whether they self-identify as African, African American, or Black. And whereas we recognize this year's theme of African Americans in labor to recognize and celebrate contributions and breakthroughs from Black professionals. And whereas each Black family has a unique and interesting story, which although we may not be able to fully understand, we can listen and show that we care, treating each other with respect and empathy. And whereas we encourage all people to recognize these issues by standing in the gap at every opportunity and bridge barriers with fearlessness and determination to improve lack of representation of Black people. And whereas today we celebrate and affirm the contributions of all Black people to our community throughout our state and the nation. And now therefore be it resolved that the Township of Little Falls does hereby proclaim February 1st through March 1st as Black History Month, and calls upon the people of Little Falls to continue our efforts to create a world that is more just, equitable, and prosperous for all. And the second proclamation we have this evening, Council President, is the National Nutrition Month Proclamation, which I have been trying to live by the past couple of months as I have been dieting in an attempt to lose a few pant sizes. So we have our National Nutrition Month Proclamation. And it reads, whereas food is the substance by which life is sustained, and whereas the type, quality, and amount of food that individuals consume each day plays a vital role in their overall health and physical fitness. And whereas there is a need for continuing nutrition education and a wide-scale effort to enhance healthy eating practices. Now, therefore, I, James Belford Damiano, Mayor of the Township of Little Falls, hereby proclaim the month to be National Nutrition Month in the Township of Little Falls, and I encourage all citizens to join in the campaign and become concerned about their nutrition and the nutrition of others in the hope of achieving optimum health for both today and tomorrow.
Thank
And
you,
that's all I
Mayor.
have, Council President, until the items to be discussed.
Thank you for doing those two very important proclamations. Can I have a motion to open a meeting to the public for general matters and agenda items?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman
Second.
Murphy, second by Councilman Havelitz. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Madam Clerk?
Anyone wishing to address the Township Council may do so to the Council President. It is preferred if you give your name and address for the record. Comments are to be limited to 3 minutes. However, if appropriate, you may be granted additional time in the sole discretion of the Council President. Members of the public who have joined the meeting virtually and desire to provide comment shall raise their virtual hand in the Zoom application. The meeting moderator will cue the members of the public that wish to provide comment, and the Council President will recognize them in order. Members of the public who have joined the meeting by calling in must press *6 to mute and unmute themselves and *9 to raise their hand. Members of the public who have joined the meeting via the Zoom application must click the reactions icon and then the raise hand icon. Once the process is complete, we will return to the regular order of business.
Thank you. The floor is now open. Steve Piero, anyone in the chat room? Seeing no one, thank you. Seeing no one come before us in the council chambers, have a motion to close the public comment?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Patel, second by Councilman Vanchery. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. Mayor, discussion on number 1, please.
Absolutely, Council President. The first item this evening, and only item, is the resolution authorizing submission of a grant application with the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection Green Acres Program for Amity Park Playground updates. And as this council is aware, as we've all been here since 6:30, tonight we had our open hearing for the improvements to Amity Park Playground, as indicated, which is a requirement of Green Acres grant. We had one individual from town, one resident, come up and speak in support of this project, also a member of our Open Space Committee, and 0 individuals question or have any negative comments about improvements to a park at Amity. This application is a resolution in order to submit our Green Acres application for grant funds to assist us in making improvements to Amity Park. That is action item number 8, or letter A today, that is on this evening's agenda. Any questions from the council?
Mayor, give us a timeline when this comes before the governing body, the processes, because one would think, okay, you could start to break ground tomorrow morning. So you want to run through the processes of how this works?
Sure, that's a great question. And this applies to most, if not all, grants that we actually seek in the municipality. Oftentimes, there is a process in which to apply for a grant. And this one in particular also requires a public hearing, although many do not. And that's why this one's a little bit different than others. But there's a timeline in which grant applications must be submitted. This one is due in the upcoming month, and it will be submitted timely. Once it's submitted, we oftentimes can wait 3, 6, even 9 months to hear whether or not the municipality was successful in obtaining or securing that grant. And oftentimes, while we may ask for X dollars, after review and after determining their total budget and the total number of applications, we oftentimes will not get 100% of the grant that we are seeking. Grants also have various terms depending on the type of grant that we seek. For example, some grants may be willing to cover 100% of the total costs of whatever the total project cost may be. Others may have 75%, 55%, 50%, 25%, or somewhere in between of what they are willing to cover. Meaning there's some grants, and I believe this is one of them as a Green Acres application, that will only cover up to 75% of the total project costs. And the municipality has some share that they must pay themselves. Again, that's a share oftentimes in these types of grants that we can fund from open space dollars, which we are able to collect each year as part of residents' taxes. We are also oftentimes able to meet our local obligation with other similar grants that are not or separate from this Green Acres program. So these are great grants. They're oftentimes big dollar amount grants, but Little Falls taxpayers do have some skin in the game. Again, oftentimes we can fund it with open space dollars to not impact residents so that they don't see any direct cost associated with the Little Falls portion or Little Falls share. Once we do find out whether we secure a grant, again, sometimes 3, 6, 9 months after an application is submitted, there is then a period of time where the engineers then really need to design the, whether it be a park or whatever the submission was for. And it's only then, after several months of design and final design being approved, that that project can then go out to bid. We go out to an open and fair bidding process where contractors can submit their bids and the lowest responsible bidder is then selected after that process. Again, this is several months usually after grants are awarded, projects are designed, and then the applications are opened. After waiting for a period of time, we receive those applications from contractors, and our attorney and clerk oftentimes review them to ensure that they're in full compliance and meet all the legal requirements and all of the insurance submissions are appropriate and that everything was completed accurately. At that point, once we do award the bid to a contractor, we then have pre-construction meetings. We set timetables and what we expect the contractor to complete the entire project by. And it's only then at that point that we then give them a notice to proceed, at which time they then begin the work. So while we are now the first week of February in 2025 applying for this grant, it is highly, highly unlikely that ground will be broken on this grant until well into the 2026 calendar year. So while we're all excited to make this application and hope for the best in securing a large grant to offset our cost to make an improvement, these are not improvements that we see within a month or two of a grant being applied for, never mind even received. So there is certainly a delay in that, but every dollar that we're able to secure in a grant like this offsets any dollar that we as Little Falls taxpayers need to put into a project or an improvement like this.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, can I have a motion to approve resolutions A and B?
So moved.
Moved by Councilwoman Havelitz,
Second.
second by Councilman Murphy. Madam Clerk, please call the roll for resolutions A and B.
Councilmember Patel?
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Havletts?
Yes.
Councilmember Vanchery?
Yes.
Council President Scoba?
Yes. Can I have a motion to approve the following application for Jake Bassinger?
So move.
Moved by
Second.
Councilman Murphy, second by Councilman Vanchery. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Patel?
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Havletts? Councilmember Vanchery?
Yes.
Council President Scoba?
Yes. Councilman Murphy, would you like to lead us off with council reports, please?
Sure, Council President. Thank you. Just real quick, we have a Domestic Violence Awareness Committee meeting tomorrow. We are changing the time from 7 to 6:30, and this month it is on Zoom. So if anybody wants to join, just shoot me an email. Also, we got an update today on the calendars. They will begin getting delivered the week of the 17th. So they're in process of being printed. Everything was finalized. I know that's a little bit further out than we had anticipated. So if anybody does want the recycling schedule for the month of February, you can go on our town website on the Public Works tab. You'll be able to click on recycling, and on there is a file under quick links for the 2025 February printout of the recycling schedule and the calendar for that month. That's all I have, Council President. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Murphy. Councilman Vanchery.
Thanks, Council President. First, I want to say congratulations to my colleague on her engagement. Wish you nothing but the best. Just one quick update. As I mentioned at last week's meeting, the Ramadan lighting ceremony is going to take place on Sunday, February 23rd. Just working out some of the details. I spoke with our DPW superintendent this week, as well as Tyler Pissarro from the rec department, just give him a brief update, but I'm hoping to send out an email this week to them, as well as the mayor and some others, just with all the details for the event. So that's it for me.
Thank you, Councilman Vanchery. Councilwoman Havelitz.
Thank you, Council President. I would also like to congratulate my colleague. Welcome to Almost Married Club. And lots of luck with that. And I'd also like to say thank you to my colleagues on the council for approving the resolution as the open space liaison. It really is important for the things that we're able to do for our parks and recreation. That's all I have.
I hope the open space entertains raising raising what is charged to the residents in the near future. That hasn't been done in a long time.
We have had discussions as a committee about it, and there'll be more to come in this year.
Thank you. Councilwoman Patel, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Council President. Thank you to all of you. I'm sure you'll hear me complain a lot while I try to plan this wedding. Just two quick updates. The Clifton Health Department is going to hold a heart health screening. That's going to be February 26th between 10 to 12 p.m. It will be at Clifton City Hall. They're going to screen for blood pressure, glucose, cholesterol. You do have to register. So you can contact Kimberly Finkler at the health department and call her at 973-986-8678. The flyer and the date are going to be posted on the township calendar, so you can also access that information there. And then on March 13th at 10 a.m., the Little Falls Public Health Committee, we're going to hold our own event. It's going to be at the Little Falls Civic Center. And it's going to be an educational program to combat seasonal affective disorder. So I spoke about it briefly last time, but we've solidified the date. Dr. Joe from Core Chiropractic right here in Little Falls, she's going to lead that program. There's going to be information, some exercises, and then a 10-minute guided meditation to help combat the symptoms. That's all I have, Council President.
Thank you, Councilwoman Patel. Chief? Anything? Thank you. March 12th will be our Irish Day luncheon, which will be our corned beef and cabbage, and we'll also have ziti for those that don't like to eat corned beef, which I don't know who they are because who doesn't like corned beef? But having said that, we're doing something new on the flyer. We're actually put a QR code on the flyer this year, which is going to be interesting. We're going to see how that works with our seniors, if they could log in and respond to the flyer, to the event, and we'll monitor that. I think that's going to be something going forward that hopefully we could do with all our events to get the data going into Excel files and making it easier to contact people in the near future. Can I have a motion to open the meeting to the public for agenda items?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Patel, second by Councilman Vanchery. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Madam Clerk?
Anyone wishing to address the Township Council may do so through the Council President. It is preferred if you give your name and address for the record. Comments are to be limited to 3 minutes. However, if appropriate, you may be granted additional time in the sole discretion of the Council President. Members of the public who have joined the meeting virtually and desire to provide comment shall raise their virtual hand in the Zoom application. The meeting moderator will cue the members of the public that wish to provide comment, and the Council President will recognize them in order. Members of the public who have joined the meeting by calling in must press *6 to mute and unmute themselves and *9 to raise their hand. Members of the public who have joined the meeting via the Zoom application must click the reactions icon and then the raise hand icon. Once the process is complete, we will return to the regular order of business.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The floor is now open. No one in the chat, Ms. DiPiero? Seeing no one come before us in the council chambers, can I have a motion to close the public comment?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Habitz, second by Councilman Vanchery. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? I do want to thank the two residents that joined us tonight for our meeting. And thank you to Mr. Cardone, Mrs. DiPiero, and Mrs. Kraus for helping me put this meeting together this evening. Can I have a motion to close?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Patel, second by Councilman Vanchery. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.